Tractate Beitzah, page 37, part 2. 37a, part 2, with the words Ella Amar of Papa. Just a small piece that was left from yesterday, from this morning. Rav Papa said this resolution of the contradiction is to be rejected in favor of the following. This is not difficult, as this case is in accordance with Beit Shammai, whereas that case follows the approach of Beit Hillel. As we learned in a Mishnah, Beit Shammai say on a festival, one may not take out a child who cannot walk, nor a lulav, nor a Torah scroll into the public domain, as none of these are required for the preparation of food, and Beit Hillel permit it. It is certainly prohibited to carry out any item into the public domain on Shabbat, yet Beit Hillel permit it on a festival. Therefore, it may be posited that just as Beit Hillel allow carrying out items on a festival but not on Shabbat, so would they permit moving the produce off the roof on a festival but not on Shabbat, according to Beit Shammai, who forbid carrying items out on a festival, and on Shabbat equally moving the produce from the roof would also be equally prohibited. And the principle that there is no difference between Shabbat and a festival other than food preparation would remain intact. Perhaps the Gemara at first refutes this explanation. Perhaps that is not so, as it is possible that Beit Shammai stated their opinion only this far. There, with regard to the prohibition against transferring objects from one domain to another, but not with regard to moving objects such as produce from place to place in the house. The Gemara rejects this claim. Is that to say that moving is not performed for the sake of taking out to the public domain? The decree against moving items unnecessarily, in other words, not for use on Shabbat or a festival, was enacted due to a concern that one might take objects into the public domain. Rav Papa's explanation that it is only Beit Shammai who would prohibit lowering the produce from the roof, therefore stands. Mishnah. The Mishnah says the status of animals and vessels on festivals is as the feet of their owner, meaning that one's animals and vessels are governed by his own travel limitations on Shabbat and festivals. In the case of one who delivers his animal to his son, or to a shepherd before the festival to care for it, these are as the feet of the owner, rather than those of the son or the shepherd. Vessels that have been inherited by several brothers and have not been divided among them, but are still owned jointly if they are designated for the use of one of the brothers in the house, and the other brothers who have no part in them, these are as his feet, and they are subject to his travel limitations. And as for those who are not designated for any particular brother, these are as a place where they all may go. They are limited by the travel limitations of every one of the brothers, as when one brother made a joining of Shabbat boundaries, Erev Techumen. And the others did not. One who borrows a vessel from another on the eve of a festival, it is as the feet of the borrower rather than the owner. As when the festival began, the vessel established at its place of rest in possession of the borrower. However, if he borrowed it on the festival itself, it is as the feet of the lender. Since at the start of the festival its place of rest was established in the possession of its owner, and similarly, a woman who borrowed spices from another to put in a dish, or water and salt to put in her dough. These foods, in other words, the dish and the dough, which contain ingredients belonging to both parties, are as the feet of both of them. They are limited by the travel limitations of both parties. Rabbi Yehuda exempts one from travel limitations in the case of water because it has no substance in the mixture and therefore is not considered connected to the original owner. The Gemara asserts the Mishnah